Welcome to Moments for Moms. I'm so excited that you all are joining us today. I am with my new friend, Caris Snider. She is an author, a mom, a speaker, a life coach, all of the things. She's incredible. I am so excited for you all to see this incredibly beautiful book that she's wrote. And we're going to be talking about helping our kids cope with anxiety and giving them some coping mechanisms. So stay tuned. You do not want to miss this episode. Grab yourself your cup of coffee or tea and take this moment just for you. Moments for Moms. I am so excited about this episode. Author, life coach, speaker mom, Caris Snider is joining me, and we are talking about her book, There's an Elephant on My Chest. And this book is beautiful.
I love it.
We'll put the cover up so you can see it better, but I love this concept. I love this book. I'm so excited to have you again.
Oh, thank you for having me. Thank you for letting me share this book that I just think is so special that we get to have a resource to talk to our littles, our 4 to 8 year olds about those big elephants that they feel on their chest and they're not quite sure how to respond to it.
Yeah, because it's such a young age.
Yeah. And it's scary, you know, it's scary for them. And so to have the opportunity to have a book, to read to them about another little girl who's dealing with that elephant on their chest that they can relate to, it's just so fun. And I'm grateful for any opportunity to share this with other moms.
So I'm so excited. So you're a mom yourself.
Yes.
Okay, tell us a little bit about you and your family.
Absolutely. So my husband and I, we live in Alabama, small town, Coleman, Alabama. And we have 2 daughters. I have a daughter that is in 9th grade, 15. Her name is Zoe. Okay. And then I have a daughter named Allie. She is 11 and in 5th grade. And we are very much kind of like a sports family.
Okay.
Both of my girls very much are into sports. My oldest, she plays basketball. Okay. And then my youngest has just found out about the volleyball world. Oh. Which I played volleyball. So
like indoor sand?
It's indoor.
Okay.
Indoor volleyball. I played volleyball in high school. Yeah. So I'm very excited about this.
Of course you are.
I wanted to play basketball. Yeah. I was too scared, but anyway, that's a whole other story. But my oldest, so we love sports. Yeah. And I always do have to share about our little mini golden doodle, Cooper Hash Brown. He is, let's see, is he 6 or 7? I don't know, but he is fun. I'm waiting for him to say a word at any moment because he has these human-like qualities. So, but we love him so. But it's fun. It's fun being a mom life, and then this part of the calling that God's placed in my life to be a speaker, author, coach, podcaster, to encourage others who are in this season of trying to figure out this place of mental health, trying to find these healthy coping skills. And you don't have to wait till you're an adult. It was almost too late for me as an adult, and I wish I would have known these things when I was a child. Yeah,
because I don't remember seeing a lot of resources like this, especially for that young age.
Yeah, and I can remember even, I was in 5th grade and my mom had taken me to the doctor because I was dealing with some symptoms of anxiety. And the doctor said, what you're dealing with is anxiety. I remember him saying that, but it didn't go any further than that. It wasn't, now here are some healthy ways to respond to it. So I continued to respond in an unhealthy way, which was to stuff it down, avoid it, ignore it. And then it caught up with me as an adult. So we can start working with our children now on how to respond differently.
Is that part of what inspired you to write this book?
It is. And you can read, there is a page in the back. They call it the back matter, if you guys want to know. That's a word they use in the publishing world.
I didn't know that.
It's in the very back of the book. I share my story.
Oh, okay.
When I was a child, I was born with a mild form of cerebral palsy. Okay. And there was a little boy in 1st grade. He was in my class. He played baseball with my brother, went to church with us. He gathered my classroom around me and was just like, hey, why do you hold your arm up like that? Why do you do that? And he held up his arms the way that I would hold up my left arm, not knowing that I was doing that. And he was making fun of me. But I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell anybody that situation happened. I pushed it down, pretended like everything was fine. And then so the anxiety kind of for me showed up in performance, perfectionist, and so that's kind of how it began for me. So that's kind of the heart behind the book. I have a child development background, and so just to know that we can put words to their feelings, to know that we can help mamas when school is starting and they're day after day saying my stomach hurts or I have a headache. For them, they're noticing that they're feeling those physical symptoms, but they don't know that that's anxiety. So that can be alarms for us as moms to know, hey, maybe there's something going on. Maybe something is happening. Maybe they feel nervous about a math test, or maybe there's a situation going on with friends, or, you know, for our little toddlers, it's a big difference to go to preschool and to be away from mom all day. Or just even a half day. Mom stay out. That is a change for them. And so that's kind of the heart behind the book.
I love it. And I love that you're helping moms give words to that, because Charlie's 3. So we're talking about, I'm trying to, like, we passed the school. I'm like, you'll go to school one day. Well, Mama, you'll come with me? Well, no. He goes, will you leave me there? Like, and I'm just like, no, I won't. Of course I won't leave you. I'll become a teacher just so I can follow you everywhere you go. Helicopter mom. That will be me. But it's so helpful to have this, like, to think I can go through this. And I did. I just, like, took this upon, I opened the page and I was like, this is so beautiful. And I just read the whole thing. And it's an easy read. It's a short read. The elephant is, like, it's just something that they can immediately relate to. But at the same time, like, Charlie knows what an elephant is. Like, he knows what that is. But to explain it this way, and the way that you visualized all of this, is just beautiful.
Thank you. And the illustrator did a fabulous, Anna Sebastian is her name. She did a fabulous job on just bringing it to life. You know, and it's funny when I read this book to children of all ages, I won't spoil it for you because I want you ready to read it. But there is a part in the book where you begin to use these coping skills. Allie, the little girl in the book, will start using these skills, and it helps the elephant to get smaller. And the kids will say, Miss Caris, it's cute. And I'll laugh and I'll say, you know what? I don't want them to be afraid of that anxiety. I want them to see that when they use these skills, it becomes smaller and they get to have the power. We say you get to be the boss of your brain. You get to tell your brain how you want it to think, what you want, what thoughts you want to stay. And so that is fun to kind of help them walk through that as well.
So you've authored multiple resources on anxiety. You have a teen one. There's others.
That's right. So there's a devotional for teens. There are devotionals for tweens. They're considered 9 to 12-year-olds. Then you have adults as well. So we're hitting every age group. And then when my publisher came to me and said, hey, can we do a picture book for our children? I was like, oh my goodness, yes, because how great is it for you as a mom with a toddler to begin walking through with your son, just talk about that big elephant, but then to see, if I take deep breaths, the elephant gets smaller. Or if I talk to my mom, if I talk to my school counselor or my teacher, those are safe adults in my life. Or to learn gratitude and to practice that, because we know science has proven our brain can't be anxious and thankful at the same time. So if they're learning that and kind of grasp that, 4 to 8-year-olds, by the time they get to 13, 14, which 50% of mental health struggles start at that age, they're going to be more equipped to respond when that anxiety it comes about in different ways for them.
And that's a good point that you pointed out, because I remember part of my story, when I was 12, I developed an eating disorder, and rooted out of all of this, but not knowing that it was, because I didn't know what this meant. I didn't know what it felt like. If I felt anxious, there were no words for it.
That's right.
So for me, instead of stuffing it down, I acted out through an eating disorder that lasted for years and years, and it has become part of my story, and the Lord has totally healed me from that. But it's like, gosh, if I would have had a resource like this, and the steps that you give, even for my 3-year-old, like, I can take this and help him with that, and he'll understand. So tell me, how did the elephant? Tell me about the elephant. How did he?
So it's funny. I don't know. You may have some moms out there, first of all, because I went to the University of Alabama. Our mascot is an elephant, Big Al, but I promise it has nothing to do with the elephant. I promise. Roll Tide, but it doesn't have anything to do with it. But so I started out as a speaker, and when I would share my story of what anxiety felt like, I would tell people it felt like an elephant sitting on my chest. So that visual for them, for those who were dealing with anxiety, they were like, that is it. That is exactly what it feels like. And then for those who have never really, dealt with anxiety, they realized how big that struggle was. So that's kind of where all of this came about. It was like God gave me that visual, He gave me that wording, and then we were off to the races, really. Because the first devotional I came out with for adults was anxiety elephants. And then it just all kind of branched out from there. But it really is a beautiful visual for kids to see these big feelings, these big emotions that I have. That's how big they feel for them. And it is. That's right.
So what are some signs, like me, if Charlie was dealing with this, what are some signs that I can look for in him that might trigger me to think, well, maybe he is a little anxious or dealing with this?
And there is going to be a list of some that you may see typically, but there are multiple. But some things that you might notice: stomach aches. They're going to complain about stomach aches quite a bit. Headaches. They're going to be fidgety, very nervous. They're going to have trouble sleeping at night. They may ask you the same question over and over again, such as, hey, Mom, are you going to pick me up today? Mom, are you going to pick me up at the same time? Mom, what time are you going to pick? Are you sure you're not going to forget? Like, they will ask the same questions. You may notice that even they may check things over and over again. It may be kind of almost to an OCD type level behavior. Emotional outbursts are going to be something else that you're going to see within your toddlers. They may be overly emotional where they cry a lot, or they may burst out in anger, or maybe a physical thing where they may want to hit or punch. So you may see some of those as well. And then even, wetting the bed. That may be something where they have mastered, but now all of a sudden they are wetting the bed again. That's something that you might notice. Difficulty concentrating. They may bite their nails, twirl their hair, just those type of things. And they may constantly have to move. They're just constantly moving all the time. And they might even tell you that they feel nauseous, like they're going to throw up, or that their heart. One thing that I've heard quite a few of young children say, that they feel like their heart is beeping, not beating, but it sounds like it's beeping because it's beating so fast. So those are some things that you might notice. And that is a big list. And you can go back and listen to that. And again, there's a list of those symptoms in the back of the book.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
That's a great resource.
Yes.
Because that is a lot. And some of them, it's like, oh gosh, is Charlie doing that?
Right.
Because some of them might be normal toddler behaviors, but then other ones I'm like, oh.
Right. And what you want to look for in that is it happening, is it on occasion, or is it an everyday thing? Are you noticing it pick up? Like, you just want, it's just being aware. And then asking questions like, how was math today? Do you have any tests coming up? And just see what comes up. Or even asking, your toddlers, what did you do in circle time? Who did you play with outside? And just asking specific questions may bring about something more that's going on.
So if I, as mom, start noticing this in Charlie, what are some coping mechanisms? How can I help him?
Absolutely. So some things that you can help them do, and it's practicing and a process. So we're just wanting them, I say prepare, don't scare. We're just wanting to prepare them for when that anxiousness comes. And you can tell them, hey, if you ever notice your heart beeping, or you feel like you can't breathe, just freeze and take a good deep breath, just something fun with childlike, and practice it with them. Just say, hey, let's practice this together. Because sometimes mommy has to pause and take some deep breaths. And so teach them to do that. You can talk to them about who are the safe adults around you. Make sure they know who those safe adults are. We want them to figure that out. It is good and helpful for them to have 3. We want them to have 3. And even for your kids who are in elementary school, letting them know, going to talk to the counselor, it's not weird. Like, it needs to be normal. We need to normalize that. So we want to do that. And I know we talked about gratitude, making a gratitude list. And I have this resource on my website you can print off, and it's got 3 little squares. And you could do this every day or every night before you go to bed. What are 3 things that we're thankful for? And you can have them draw it or write it, depending on their age. And they might put gummy bears, like Allie says in the book, or their glitter pencils, or they may say mommy or daddy, and we want them to look for those things every day. So over time, they may not realize they're using these skills for that big elephant, but you as a mom, as a parent, you're equipping them and preparing them. So when that elephant comes, they're going to be ready. They're going to be prepared.
I love that, because as a mom, I love him so much. You want to do everything in your power to set him up for success and help and be there. And these are such great resources to help me be proactive instead of in the moment being reactive, because my tendency, and I don't know if it's all moms, but for me, in my experience, it's only been 3 short years, but if something's wrong with him, I'm going to find myself being anxious because I'm like, oh no, what's wrong with him? And that's not going to be helpful in that situation.
Right.
So this gives me so many tools and ways. And I love that game because he loves to play like tag in the house, or like he would love to freeze and take a deep breath. Like he would think that was fun.
Yeah. And then something else you can do is, they call it grounding, where they use their senses, and that helps snap them back into reality. But one fun way to use the sense of touch, and I know moms, you're going to be like, she had me until this. Get some bubble wrap, take off their socks. You may have to tape it down to your floor and just let them pop those bubbles. Yeah. And you can even turn on music and dance and then freeze when the music goes off. But it's just kind of, when you are anxious, you're on edge. Yeah. That adrenaline is pumping and it needs somewhere to go. Yeah. So when you do an activity like that of popping bubble wrap or just running in place or running around the house, it is giving that edge somewhere to go.
Yeah. I love that. He loves bubble wrap.
And it's fun.
Yeah.
That's a good dad game. It could be a good dad game.
Dad loves bubble wrap in our house. I can see them like rolling their trucks over the
And then that would be a good time for you to leave. To go and have a few minutes by yourself.
That's a great idea. Our mom moment.
Yes.
Here's the bubble wrap,
there you
Bobby.
Go. Have fun.
Have fun. You can thank me later for that. So you mentioned when you were talking about the school counselor normalizing this. And I know that you're a big advocate for mental wellness and health. How can we do that as a family? What does that look like?
I think part of what we can do is make those conversations normal, normalize those conversations around the dinner table, even, age appropriate, talk about your own struggles so that our kids realize we do not have it all together. We have struggled and we may still have those bad days or those bad moments, and they see us processing and learning how to do that. Talk about your school counselors. Let's say their name. Let's talk about them as a person, what their job is at school, how they can help. Yeah. Some of our schools are very fortunate to even have teachers who care about our kids in such a great and deep way. So we want them to know that they're there as well. Your children's pastor at church. There are multiple ways that we can do this. A friend of mine, our daughters, they have been best friends since 2nd grade. They're in 9th grade now. Yeah. And I tell Zoe, there may be times where you would rather talk to Miss Jackie than to me. And that's okay. Because I want them to know, if you need to go to them, I would rather you go to someone that I know than to a stranger on social media or to someone that I don't know. So we want to kind of, in a way, give them permission to not have to always come to us. Because sometimes I didn't always want to go to my mom.
Oh, yeah.
And so it helped me to kind of come to that realization of, I'd rather her go to these people that I know, that are going to listen and care about her. And that whatever she says to them, if it's something that I need to know, they will tell me. But if I don't have to know it, I know it's safe with them. So that is another kind of way to normalize those type of conversations.
That's so good. And I think that might be hard for a mom saying it.
Yes.
Like, you don't have to come to me. Like, if you feel more comfortable going to them. But how empowering for the kid and helpful. I mean, I remember just thinking back like on my own experience, and like you're talking about the school counselor, it was frowned upon. Like you kind of snuck in there if you had to go, or else you were forced to go. I remember walking through that eating disorder, being forced to go in there, and I felt like something was wrong with me and embarrassed to go in there. But we need to normalize that and let them know that that's okay.
It's okay.
Absolutely. I love that. So I know you're talking about like sharing with other people. How can we help our kids want to open up and trust us in those moments?
Right. It is awkward and it's weird for them. And so I think giving them some space in that. A friend of mine, what she'll do is she'll say, where it was a rose and a thorn.
Oh, yeah, we play that with my youth girls.
Rose and a thorn.
Roses and thorns.
Because it's helping them to see that they're not going to get in trouble.
That's good, yeah.
If there was a thorn in the day.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're just going to have a bad day. It doesn't mean that you did something to cause the bad day. You may just have a bad day. Or you may just have those big feelings. Maybe you didn't sleep well the night before, so you're feeling that big elephant on your chest. So we just kind of want to open that up for them. Do the rose and the thorn, what was something good today? What was something bad today? I think that helps. And then even for my kids, popping popcorn and just going to their rooms, or them coming into the living room and just having conversations, or even just riding around in the car. There's something about no eye contact that
true.
brings on some awkward conversations, and the older they get, they're going to get more awkward, but you want them to come to you. You do, I promise you want to build that foundation for them. So if you can just make those type of moments, or if it's like with your sons maybe who like video games or they like to go outside and throw the football, go do those activities, and those conversations will naturally happen, and just listen. Just listen, or say, tell me more. Or you can say, I can see that it's really bothering you. And pause. And they will, even your boys, they will continue to open up.
We only have a couple seconds left. Will you tell everybody where can they find your books, find you, all of the things?
Find me at Caris Snider on all the social media platforms, and then my website, Caris Snider, CarisSnider.com.
Yes, and not just this book, teens, adults, your Carline Mom Devotional. And your podcast.
And my podcast, Carline Conversations.
I love it. It's so authentic. I love that you're just in the Carline.
No editing. We just go.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's
so needed.
Thank
you so much for being here with me.
Thanks for having me.
I really appreciate it. Yes. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. Stay tuned. Stephanie will be here with a What the Hack, and Dr. Brooks Gibbs will be here with a mental health moment. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
We want to connect with you. Make sure to visit our website, momentsformoms.tv, for the latest episodes of the show, guest information, resources, and so much more. Visit momentsformoms.tv today.
The hat. The city.
Hi, friends. So happy to be back with you. What the Hack with Stephanie and
Rebecca.
I love having Rebecca on.
I love to be here.
So much fun.
Aw.
So as I was planning for these segments, I felt like the Lord was leading me to Titus, where the older women mentor the younger women. And I just thought, what would I want to know back when I had littles? What would I like to know that I didn't know? And the one thing that came to me was be in the moment. We were so busy. I had stepchildren. I had Alexis, my child. I worked. We had bills. We had church. We had
all the practices.
Husband. I had dinner. I had all these things, and I was always almost like working towards the next thing. And I didn't stop.
And I take time in that way,
and have time in that moment. And that might be a big regret of mine, bringing up the littles because you forget when you're in that moment that it's not going to last forever, because it seems like it's so much.
You're just
not all the time.
Yeah.
Not all the time.
Right.
Some days are wonderful, but you have some moments that are stressful. So today I want to share with you to be in the moment, to take those littles and sit down with them. They don't care if the house is clean. I promise you.
I guarantee.
And they don't care what you buy them. You can buy them gifts. That's wonderful. But what they're going to remember is the time that you spent with them.
Absolutely.
The memories that you make with them. So what I'm saying today is celebrate. Celebrate the little things.
The little moments.
Yes, like celebrate. It's Saturday. Let's celebrate. What else could we celebrate? The sun is out. Let's celebrate.
School's almost over.
Anything. Just sit down with your kids. I thought it was so cute. I found this wide mouth glass and this platter.
Fancy plate.
$2.50, at Dollar Tree, $1.25 each. And because kids love to feel grown up a little bit.
A little fancy stuff. I like it.
So have a chip and dip party, okay? Cheap, simple, but sit down with your kids and celebrate something. So all I simply did was got this wide mouth glass. We're going to put salsa in it. We're going to put chips around the edge. You could do all kinds of chips, all kinds of dips. You could do little desserts, get some different type of cookies.
Oh, one thing I saw, you can do mac and cheese in a fancy glass and put dino chicken nuggets around the edge, and then they feel like they've got their grown-up fancy dinner.
Cute. That would be a grown-up fancy dinner for them. And then sit down with them and just be in the moment with them. Talk about their day. Talk about something they're excited about. Talk about something they need to, is there anything you need to talk about? Anything, but just stop and enjoy it. Because that is one of the things I don't think I did enough. So if I could mentor you and tell you one thing is stop, take a moment, enjoy the little things. Yes. Thanks for being here, Rebecca.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you so much. And we'll see you next time.
The hat. The city.
Moments for Moms is more than just a show. It is a community of moms encouraging each other on this incredible journey we have been called to. Join our private Facebook group to share your mom moments, questions, small victories, and connect with other moms as we all come together in this ministry called motherhood. We can't wait to see you there.
Good morning. It is early, and as you guys know, sometimes I come upstairs, or I try to as often as possible, and get just a little workout in before anybody gets up. And my little Charlie is still a pretty early riser, so as long as I get my workout done and I am back showered and downstairs by like 4:45, 5 o'clock, I feel like I'm safe. But after that, there's no telling. He's probably gonna wake up because he just is afraid to miss anything. So I wrote a blog a couple weeks ago for Mother's Day, and I'm not sure when you guys are seeing this, it might be at Christmas time, but I think the concept is still true. What I did in the blog is I kind of questioned myself, which prompted me to write this, on who was I and who was the woman before I became a mom. I don't know about you guys, but for the last 3.5 years, I've literally been doing momming and working, and as soon as I come home, I'm cooking or bathing the little guy that's been in the mud all day. So I kind of lost who I was, and I literally have a tattoo on my arm that says dream. Like, I used to be such a big dreamer and have all of these ideas, and I feel like over the last 3.5 years, even the creativity, it's like there's just like a roadblock. And I know that there's a season and where we pour into our family and pour into our kids, and there's things that us moms can do that literally nobody else can do. And Charlie is absolutely the greatest joy and miracle of my entire life. So I love every single moment of it, and it's so crazy how God just gives you that grace and that patience to be a mom in these seasons. But I want to encourage you guys right now. This is something I did. I just took a minute and I wrote down one thing. What is that one thing that used to just drive me and give me passion and creativity? And then I wrote that thing down, and then I did the thing. Now, that was the kicker, because it's making the time to do the thing. But I will tell you guys, when I did that, it's like, oh my gosh, I used to love this, and I used to love this, and I used to love this, and it made me more intentional. And it's making me more intentional every single day. So I encourage you guys today, do it today. Find something that's that one thing. Go out, do that one thing. Write to me, tell me what it is. And I promise you guys, it's gonna make you a better wife, a better mom, and just a better human being. So go do that thing and let me know what it is. And I can't wait. I hope you guys have a good day. Bye.
I know screen time's supposed to be limited, and we do, but this is a mom moment for me because I am successfully cooking our turkey burgers, cutting up vegetables, and this little dude is just straight chilling, eating some pickles and peppers and having the best time doing it. So, hey. There is no judgment here if you other mamas are relying on an iPad for a moment.